Okay, so welcome back, Elaine, to the Zoom room for another Ask Letting Go live session. Welcome to anyone else who's watching on a live stream. So let's jump straight into today's email. There's a daily quote, which we'll have a look at. A bit of teaching around that. Today's theme is all about finding and following your bliss. So we'll explore what bliss is, and that'll lead us nicely into our lesson for today. So just going to share my screen with you. Yeah, so if you can read that headline quote for us, kindly. I'll make it a bit bigger, maybe.
I can see it, no problem.
Okay, there we go.
Follow your bliss. If you do follow your bliss, you put yourself on a kind of track that has been there all the while waiting for you. And the life you ought to be living is the one you are living. When you see that, you begin to meet people who are in the field of your bliss, and they open the doors to you. I say, follow your bliss and don't be afraid, and doors will open where you didn't know they were going to be. If you follow your bliss, or doors will open for you that wouldn't have opened for anyone else.
Mm.
Joseph Campbell.
Yeah, very appropriate for me at this point in my journey. So I'll explain why. So in today's inspirational quote by Joseph Campbell, he was an American professor of literature who discovered and formulated what he called the hero's journey based on his studies of many seemingly different cultures, religions, philosophies, and spiritual traditions. He talks about the power of following your bliss, term he used to refer to an inspired purpose that activates a flow of joyful energy and what psychotherapist Carl Jung called synchronicities in the hero's or the heroine's life, which another more recent psychologist named Mihaly Csikszentmihalyi called flow, and Yeshua refers to as miracles in the Course of Miracles. So I was out on the road today with my business partner, and he's a Taoist. He believes in the Tao. And he said, so do you believe in the Tao? I said, well, it's the same thing. I study A Course in Miracles, but miracles, synchronicity, flow, it's all referring to the same thing. They're just different words pointing to the same flow of universal energy we call God. But whatever you call it, Campbell found that there was one universal story, or as he called it, monomyth of human life, which every philosophy, religion, and spiritual path shares. Now, this monomyth is the story of the hero's journey that the heroes or heroines of the stories in these various traditions choose to undertake in order to discover who they really are, despite the obstacles, trials, temptations, and challenges presented by their ego or belief in separation and their separate self-concept that is a necessary consequence of this belief. So it's one monomyth story inevitably includes the same common elements, which allowed him to formulate the archetypal hero's journey consisting of three main stages. You depart from the familiar world, you get initiated into the new world, and you return to the familiar world with a friend on the diagram. So there's a call to adventure, there's the supernatural aid often that helps you follow that call. So in most of these stories, there's some kind of guide, guru, wise man, something like that comes in and gives the guidance as necessary. You also have the resistance. There's always in the stories these agents that are seeming against you, that are opposing you. So, we know every epic story has good and evil. So this would be called the force of evil, trying to keep you from going on your journey and trying to sow doubt. But the hero can go beyond the threshold guardians. And once they do that, they begin the transformation. They move from the known world of the existing thought system into the unknown world of the spirit, and that is the hero's journey. As you push into that, you're inevitably going to get challenges, trials, temptations, but you're going to get help. There's helpers, there's guides, there's mentors along the way that come to help you. And I think you've experienced a bit of that the last
Mm.
couple of days when you got into some challenges
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
and asked for help, and then these ordinary angels, just people who are very kind and helpful,
Mm.
come along and they show you the way out of it.
Yeah. Yes.
And then you're living the journey. Like, well, whenever I need help, help is given, and it can come in many forms. It can come in the form of a person who will just be kind and very helpful, as you experienced. It could come in the form of a map, or a signpost, or a phone call, or a casual encounter in the street with a stranger. You just don't know. But the point of the hero's journey is that it's there to help you, and if you open to the flow, then it will come. The helpers, the mentors, the guides will be there, because there is this universal power of the Holy Spirit that wants you to awaken. So it's designed to help you on your journey. And then that leads you into the abyss. So in the end, you come to the point of realization that there's death and life. Life and death are irreconcilable. The Holy Spirit and the ego can't be reconciled, so you must make a choice. And that choice for life over death is the abyss. And you really, fundamentally make that choice. It's far more than just an intellectual decision. It's mental, emotional. It involves your whole mind and body. So there's a genuine transformation in awareness that's taken place. And then you move into the atonement or the at-one-ment, which is interesting because that's course terminology. It's also used in the hero's journey. So transformation leads to the understanding of at-one-ment, that I am really one with everyone and everything. And then finally, you come back. So there's this return journey. Having been on this profound journey and learned so much, you come back into the known world. You return with these gifts that you've learned by following this path. And then you become a teacher and a guide and a mentor to others. So you can play the guide of a mentor role to others. So yeah, that's the simple. There's a 12 stage one as well, which we can break down and go into more detail about. This 12-step process has formed the foundation of the scripts of thousands of movies, including blockbusters like The Matrix, the first one, Avatar, Star Wars, Lord of the Rings, Harry Potter. These are, major cinematic franchises. These are some of the biggest movie franchises ever, and they're all based on the hero's journey, which would indicate that the hero's journey has something about it. That's true. So in the first act, you go to, start in the ordinary world. Often these movies start with the first couple of minutes, and you see the character in their normal environment, and often they're a bit stuck and they're a bit blocked, and it shows that, okay, their life isn't what they want it to be. And then there's the call to adventure, which can come in many ways. That could be, well, I'm in so much pain, I can't do this anymore, mental, emotional, physical pain. It might come as a chance encounter with a stranger who mentioned something you didn't know. And then you cross the threshold. So most of the time there's a refusal of the call. So the hero doubts, fears, worries, and often refuses the call. But with the help of a mentor, they make the decision to cross the threshold and say, okay, I'm going to do this and I'm going to go for this. And then the tests really start. Then you get these tests, these challenges, you get allies who follow you, and you get enemies who also follow you. That all of this leads you to approach the ordeal. That's this place of the abyss where you have to choose once and for all between the ego and the Holy Spirit. So that's the ordeal, seizing the reward. Is comes the reward is not sometimes in these myths and legends the reward seems to be something physical, but it's not actually. That's not what that's just symbolic. The true reward is knowing yourself. The true reward is coming into an awareness of your true self, and then often in these stories you get expanded powers, and the heroes of the stories can do amazing things because they've got these expanded powers called cities. And then the third act, once you've gone through that, is you must return back home. You feel the call back home because you can't just go forever and not come back to society and help. So your natural kind of intention is to help others. So there's resurrection in 1 month. And then finally resurrection in 1 month, which is the Christ narrative. Christ story is that uh, despite the challenges and whatever's going on in your life, you will ultimately resurrect. And then finally you return with the elixir. So you come back into society, and that elixir is the knowledge. It's the knowledge of who you are. It's the knowledge of God. You bring it with you. You carry it with you. And we've seen people who've made these profound journeys have sometimes profoundly changed the world. So take a Yeshua, the Buddha, Lao Tzu, who started Taoism, and there's a number of other spiritual masters who could lay claim to this idea that, well, this the title that they have actually changed the world, because they've returned with this knowledge of who they are, and they actually live that knowledge, and they try and impart that to other people. Okay, so if you want to go into Hero's Journey a little bit more, you can read the ebook. This is The Hero with a Thousand Faces by Joseph Campbell. So there, you just click on that, download it, to start at page 1. Definitely worth reading, particularly if you need clarification on the hero's journey. Really, to summarize, it's a spiritual path. What he's outlining here is a spiritual journey back home. Yeah, so you can dive a bit deeper into that. Is a movie, 1 hour, 20-minute movie of Finding Joe about the hero's journey. He talks to various experts on it, including Alan Cohen, Robin Sharma, and Deepak Chopra. So you can listen to them and their take on it. They're being interviewed along with many others. So yeah, quite insightful. There's a bit of action that demonstrates it as well. So if you'd like to go through that with us, then here we are. on our live session. So any thoughts, comments, or questions on this, Elaine?
No, yes, yeah. We've been through
It's
this.
just helpful to remember that this is, you're in the hero's journey, on the hero's journey, and you're as long as you're on the path, you're awakening.
Mm-hmm.
This is the process, and you're somewhere in this cycle
Oh yes,
uh,
yeah. I still
of
get
the
caught up.
awakening.
Yeah, well, it's I'm still getting caught up in the ego, but it's just getting back to base as quick as possible, really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So use the hero's journey to just another tool to guide you. So let's say you're going through the ordeal, you're going through this dark night of the soul. It seems horrendous. Seems like your life is coming to an end. That's when, you remember, well, this is the process. This is what everyone has to go through.
Mm-hmm.
And it's really not pleasant. No one can say it's nice going through the dark nights of the soul and ultimate despair. It's not.
Mm.
But you know that this too will pass. You know that because there's a model and someone's understood this, you know that this is just part of an archetypal journey, a hero's journey, we call it back to God.
Mm.
Okay, so I think that prepares us nicely for our lesson. So just give me a moment. I'm just going to do that. Okay, so this is lesson 192 we're on to. So it's the wrong lesson. Let's find the right one. Lesson 192. Here we go. So if you can read lesson 192 in the original and the alternative kindly, and then we'll go into paragraph 1.
I have a function God would have me fill, or I have a function perfect loving awareness inspires me to fill.
Yeah, so just think about, ponder those ideas for a bit. And does the second alternative version of that idea, does that speak to you? Does it add any other dimensions?
Yes, I think it does actually. I have a
Hmm.
function perfect loving awareness. Yeah, that does give a bit more. Yeah, hits the soul more, doesn't it? It's sort of. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the challenge with the God idea is that many people struggle to relate to it. God would have me full, and you go, well, what is God? Some off-planet, distant God? What does God want me to do? It's not the obvious what God wants you to do at all. It comes out of a state of mind, a state of awareness.
Mm. Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
And that's really to stay in that loving awareness. I have a function, perfect loving awareness inspires me to fill. And what is that? What is that function? Yeah. So function, perfect loving awareness inspires me to fill. Very different from the function God would have me fill. Hopefully, speaks to more people, speaks to you, helps you frame the lesson better. Okay, so read that. Shall I read in the original? Can you read
Yes,
it out?
yeah,
Sure. Sentence by
yeah.
sentence. Okay. So it is your Father's holy will that you complete himself and that your self, capital self, shall be his sacred son, forever pure as he of love created and in love preserved, extending love created in its name, forever one with God and with yourself.
It is my source's pure formless awareness that I complete, and that myself shall be its sacred extension, forever pure as it, of love extended and in love preserved, extending love in its name, forever one with pure formless awareness of perfect love, and with myself.
Yet, what can such a function mean within a world of envy, hatred, and attack?
Yet what can such a function mean within a world of seeming envy, hatred, and attack? From the top, yeah. It is my source. Yeah. It is my source's. Yeah. It is my source's pure formless awareness that I complete, and that myself shall be its sacred extension, forever pure as it, of love extended and in love preserved, extending love in its name, forever one with pure formless awareness of perfect love, and with myself. Yet what can such a function mean within a world of seeming envy, hatred, and attack? Well, it's just saying about our source, the pure formless awareness that we complete, and that our self should be its sacred extension, pure and in extending love in its name. But yes, well, it's just saying, but how can this be within a world of envy and hatred and attack?
Yeah, what can it really mean?
Yeah.
Is a good question.
Mm.
So then he answers that question in the next one. So therefore, you have a function in the world in its own terms.
Therefore, I have a function in the world in its own terms.
For who can understand a language far beyond his simple grasp?
For who can understand a language far beyond his simple grasp?
Forgiveness represents your function here.
Letting go is my function here.
It is not God's creation. What is the means untruth can be undone?
It is not perfect love's being, for it is the means by which untruth can be undone.
And who would pardon heaven?
And who could pardon the state of pure formless awareness?
Yet on earth, you need the means to let illusions go.
Yet on earth, I need the means to let illusions go.
Creation merely waits for your return to be acknowledged, not to be complete.
Pure formless awareness of perfect love merely waits for my return to be acknowledged, but not to be complete. And I'll read that again.
Yeah, from the top.
Yeah, I therefore have a function in the world in its own terms. For who can understand a language far beyond his simple grasp? Letting go is my function here. It is not perfect love's being, for it is the means by which untruth can be undone. And who can pardon the state of pure formless awareness? Yet on earth I need the means to let illusions go. Pure formless awareness of perfect love merely waits for my return to be acknowledged, but not to be complete. So it's just saying we have a function in this world in its own terms. Who can understand a language far beyond his simple grasp? So the letting go is the function here. And we need the means to let these illusions go. Pure formless awareness, perfect love, will merely wait for our return to be acknowledged, but not to be complete. Don't know what that bit means. And not to be complete.
Well, it's already complete.
Oh, right, I see, yes.
Already whole, complete, perfect. But in our awareness, it's not. So this is the problem. It merely waits for my return to be acknowledged, but not to be complete. So it's whole, it's complete, it's perfect, because it's an awareness. But if I block that awareness, then in my own mind, in my own awareness, it's not complete. So it's our task, our function to return our minds to this awareness. And that happens through forgiveness or letting go. Yet on earth, I need the means to let illusions go. So really, he's taking, let's have a look at it in diagrammatic terms. Holy Trinity. It's going to work. Don't know why it does that sometimes. Okay. So the diagram explains what he's saying here in words, visually. We have what's complete, whole, perfect, God, Father, heaven, pure formless awareness of perfect love. This infinite that's absolute, that is whole and complete already. Nothing we do can affect this. But we're sitting in our illusion in this world as a separate self, experiencing all the people, things, places, events, circumstances, situations, trauma, successes, failures, and all experiences that seem to exist and happen in physical, universal time and space from a perspective of a separate self, which we've invented, which is not true, but for us in our little red box reality, it seems to be true. So he's just saying, well, how do we bridge this gap? This is a whole, complete, perfect, infinite, absolute, eternal awareness. And here you've got a complete illusion, which you got yourself caught up in. So how do you find your way back? How do you move from the one to the other? And that's where the remedy is forgiveness or letting go. And you let go of your attachment to all of these people, things, places, events, circumstances, situations, and all experiences. You drop them, you let them go. And as you do that, you start to become aware of a presence that transcends that. And that's what, of course, calls the Christ or the true self. The Son of God, the Christ, we call it the extension or the true self. In other teachings, it's called the Buddha or the Atman. Doesn't really matter what you call it. It's the very essence of who you are that is beyond form, and it's beyond anything the ego has ever invented. So as we start to let go, we come into true perceptions, which are now informed by the self, and this self draws on on pure formless awareness of perfect love for its existence. So it is the extension of this loving awareness, which starts to be able to then operate in the world via this true self and the Holy Spirit, which is correct perception. And that's how this infinite, absolute, eternal awareness gets translated into a practical, useful form in this world. It can guide you through the maze of this life to awaken, to heal, to transform, and eventually your mind will merge back into pure formless awareness and perfect love, because that's its natural destiny. You won't be confused by any illusory thoughts that seem to suck you down the ladder into the ego's identification. Okay, so that kind of, I think that diagram encapsulates what he's saying. Does that make sense?
Oh, it does. It does. Yeah.
And does it make more sense? You know, when we've been through this before, obviously, but does it
Oh,
make more
loads of
sense
times. Yeah.
when
Well,
we go
yes.
through it again in context and we're talking about like he's giving us a passage here about forgiveness and letting go. And so, you know, what is your function? Given that this is whole, complete, and perfect already, how does this translate into the world? What then is your function here? And the genius of the course really is he's given us this Holy Trinity idea and the operating system of the Holy Trinity that helps us to apply this God, pure formless awareness of perfect love in practice in our lives, and is very helpful in that. And so there's a bridge in this world that helps us for a time be in the world but not of the world. It helps us gradually and systematically heal and awaken and transform our minds and our lives by returning back to spirit. And that process can be very gentle and guided and intuitive, and you just flow with it. And he's saying, well, that's really what your life is. Your function in this world is to do that, is to awaken. And if you're on your journey, then your life will be a whole lot more fulfilling and happier, more peaceful. And if you are seeking it outside of yourself.
Mm. Yeah.
All right. So just gives a bit of context. A bit of diagram wouldn't be quite the same if we did a lesson without any diagrams. But hopefully they're helpful. That's why
Oh,
I share
yes.
them, you know.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, I've seen them lots and lots of times, but yeah,
Mm.
we always, for some reason, need a reminder because the ego is so
Mm.
persistent. It really
Mm.
is, you know.
And you see how, you know, he says in words here, sometimes it's helpful to see it in a diagram. You say, oh, okay. You know, now I can kind of visualize it. I can picture this. And many
Mm,
people, that's the way they learn. You know, the abstract logic and the wording, they can't get a handle on. But if you put it into an image and you show them visually, they go, oh, okay, well, that makes sense. I can get that.
mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But you have to, you know, speak their language. So that's what we're attempting to do here. With the translations is one way of doing that. The diagrams is another way, you know, translating it into a format can actually be communicated. All right. So any other thoughts on that?
No, that's good.
Yeah. So these are the dreams, the Holy Spirit's dreams. They're dreams, but they are dreams of awakening. So you're getting close to the light. It's part of the process of awakening,
Mm-hmm.
which is a good thing. So even if you're getting older and you know, seem to be losing your life, actually, correctly interpreted, you go, well, I'm just moving forward in my process of awakening.
Oh, yes. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Because ultimately, you know, death is going to
Well, of
claim
course.
every, but
Yeah.
doesn't matter. Death is graduation day. Death is when I've done my work, finally let the body go, and I'm free. I never have to come back into this world again.
Mm-hmm.
Right, so let's do number 3, shall we?
Yeah.
I'll read in the original again. So creation cannot even be conceived of in the world.
Being cannot even be conceived of in the world.
It has no meaning here.
It has no meaning here.
Forgiveness is the closest it can come to earth.
Letting go is the closest it can come to earth.
For being heaven born, it has no form at all.
For being from a state of pure formless awareness, it has no form at all.
Yet God created one who has the power to translate in form the holy formless.
Yet pure formless awareness of perfect love extends itself into my mind as the remembrance of perfect love that has the power to translate the holy formless into form.
So the one who has the power to translate and form the holy formless is the Holy Spirit. And that's its intermediary function, its translation function that allows this pure formless awareness of perfect love, which is completely not related to form at all. It allows it to still come into the world of form and help us to live our lives more functionally, to be happier, more peaceful, to help things happen that are beneficial for us. So back to the diagram. Okay, so where are we? We're on number 6, I think. So what he makes are dreams, but of a kind so close to waking that the light of day already shines in them, and eyes already opening, behold, and the joyful gifts their offerings contain.
What it makes are dreams, but a kind so close to waking that the awareness of truth already shines in them, and my emerging spiritual vision perceives the joyful sights their offerings contain. And from the top, being cannot even be conceived of in the world. It has no meaning here. Letting go is the closest it can come to earth. For being from the state of pure formless awareness, it has no form at all. Yet pure formless awareness of perfect love extends itself into my mind as the remembrance of perfect love that has the power to translate the holy formless into form. What it makes are dreams, but of a kind so close to waking into the awareness of truth already shines in them, and my emerging spiritual vision perceives the joyful sights their offerings contain. So it's just saying the being cannot be conceived in the world because it has no meaning here. So letting go is the closest. So being in this state of pure formless awareness, it has no form at all. So it extends into my mind as the remembrance of perfect love. And this has the power to translate this formless into form.
Mm. Which is very helpful. If we didn't have the Holy Spirit, you'd be lost here. How would you bridge the gap? You'd be caught up in the dream world forever. There'd be no way home. So the Holy Spirit is the bridge, it's the intermediary between the thought systems, between the worlds. It's essential because you know, not just going to go back into pure formless awareness of perfect love instantly. We've created a body, we've created a life here, we've created a whole world, alternate reality, and the Holy Spirit can reinterpret that for us and help us to correct our minds and restore our minds back into their true awareness, systematically, progressively, just by making these corrections as and when they need it. You know, we can consciously engage in that process, and that's what we have to do. There's no other way. So you're not just going to go straight from here, being completely identified with your ego and its illusions, into pure formless awareness of perfect love. It's very, very rare that happens. You know, a sudden overnight awakening. I'm not saying it's not possible, but it's very rare. So instead of that, he's saying, well, I'm going to give you a process and a system. It's called that the Holy Trinity. That's going to help you to systematically and progressively correct your mind, correct your illusions. And if you keep following it, that process has to continue. You start to unwind your mind, and you simply won't believe in any of these illusions anymore. Ultimately, you don't need true perception. You don't need corrections. You don't need surrender, acceptance, awakening, and healing and transformation when you are fully awake already. If you're in pure formless awareness of perfect love, that's all there is. There's nothing else to do. And just be eternally in that state. the ego would obviously have a struggle with. So a lot of people struggle with these teachings, not because they're difficult or complex, but just because the ego has so much resistance to them.
Yeah. It does.
Okay. So let's go back to our lesson. So being and pure forms, the one is perfect love are synonymous. It's the same. And then he's saying, this being can translate into our world by the remembrance of perfect love, which remember is like a step-down transformer, transforms the energy into an energy that's available and useful for all of us. Okay, so happy with number 3.
Yeah.
Let's go into number 4 then. So forgiveness gently looks upon all things unknown in heaven, sees them disappear, and leaves the world a clean and unmarked slate, on which the word of God can now replace the senseless symbols written there before.
Letting go can gently perceive all things unknown in the state of pure formless awareness, sees them disappear, and leave the world a clean and unmarked slate on which the message of perfect love can now replace the senseless symbols projected onto it before.
Yeah. Forgiveness is the means by which the fear of death is overcome, because it holds no fierce attraction now, and guilt is gone.
Letting go is the means by which the fear of death is overcome, because it holds no fierce attraction now, and guilt is gone.
Forgiveness lets the body be perceived as what it is, a simple teaching aid to be laid by when learning is complete, and hardly changing him who learns at all.
Letting go lets me perceive the body as what it really is, a simple teaching aid to be discarded when learning is complete, but hardly, what's that? I need it lifted up just a touch, changing the person who learns at all. And from the top, letting go gently perceives all things unknown in the state of pure formless awareness, sees them disappear, and leave the world a clean and unmarked slate on which the message of perfect love can now replace the senseless symbols projected onto it before. Letting go is the means by which the fear of death is overcome, because it holds no fierce attraction now, and guilt is gone. Letting go lets me perceive the body as what it really is, a simple teaching aid to be discarded when learning is complete, but hardly changing the person who learns at all. Once again, just learning the letting go, and this will perceive all things unknown to the state of pure formless awareness. Leaves the world a clean and unmarked slate on which the message of perfect love can replace these senseless symbols projected onto it before. So again, it's about letting go is the means by which the fear of death is overcome, because it doesn't hold any attraction now, and guilt is gone. So it's letting go of the body, it's realizing it's just a teaching aid, and once it's done its work, it's discarded and learning is complete, but hardly changing the person who learns at all.
Not a body, it's just a learning device. So there's no big deal, when you've learned your lessons, the learning device is no longer needed. then it can be discarded. Discarded when learning is complete. You don't need the body anymore. So in our world, we'll call that death. Someone just discards the body because they don't need it. It's called death. But if they've really done that, then actually they've woken up, awakened into the truth, which is the whole point of life. And you understand that that is really the only point. And so letting go does this for us. Letting go lets me perceive the body as what it really is. Simple teaching aid to be discarded when learning is complete, hardly changing the person who learns at all. So hardly changing the mind of the person who learns at all. Okay. So any other thoughts on that?
Yeah, that's good.
Okay, should we carry on?
Yeah.
The mind without the body cannot make mistakes.
The mind without the body cannot make mistakes.
It cannot think that it will die or be the prey of merciless attack.
It cannot think that it will die, nor be the prey of merciless attack.
Anger becomes impossible, and where is terror then?
Anger becomes impossible, and where is terror then?
What fears could still assail those who have lost the source of all attack, the core of anguish and the seat of fear?
What fears could still assail those who have lost their source of all attack, the core of anguish and the seat of fear?
Only forgiveness can relieve the mind of thinking that the body is its home.
Only letting go can relieve the mind of thinking that the body is its home.
Only forgiveness can restore the peace that God intended for his Holy Son.
Only letting go can restore the peace that perfect love intends for its innocent extension.
And only forgiveness can persuade the Son to look again upon his holiness.
Only letting go can persuade the extension to look again upon its innocence. And from the top, the mind without the body cannot make mistakes. It cannot think that it will die, nor the prey of merciless attack. Anger becomes impossible, and where is terror then? What fears could still assail those who have lost the source of all attack, the core of anguish and the seat of fear? Only letting go can relieve the mind of thinking that the body is its home. Only letting go can restore the peace that perfect love intends for its innocent extension. Only letting go can persuade the extension to look again upon its innocence. So it's just saying the mind without the body cannot make mistakes. It can't think it's going to die and nor be prey to any attacks. So anger then becomes impossible. So then where is terror then? So only letting go can relieve the mind of thinking that the body is its home, and it's letting go that can restore the peace. So it's letting go. That's the secret.
Yeah, it's a secret beyond the secret. It was that book and movie more than 20 years ago now, actually. About 2004 or 5, I think The Secret came out, and remember, it was a big thing. It was like, oh, The Secret. I said the secret is, we'll just decide what you want, and then you affirm it and you believe it, and it will manifest. You'll get what you want. This is the secret beyond the secret. So, actually let go of everything you think you want and need, and then allow the spirit to guide you and the flow to guide you, and you will have all your needs met, and have many miraculous synchronicities and surprises along the way, which you just wouldn't have had otherwise. Okay. Any other thoughts on that one?
Yeah, that's good.
6 then. So with anger gone, you will indeed perceive that for Christ's vision and the gift of sight, no sacrifice was asked, and only pain was lifted from a sick and tortured mind.
With anger gone, I will indeed perceive that for my true self's vision and the gift of true perception, no sacrifice was asked, and only pain was lifted from a sick and tortured mind.
Is this unwelcome? Is this to be feared? Or is it to be hoped for, met with thanks, and joyously accepted?
Is this unwelcome? Is this to be feared? Or is it to be hoped for, met with thanks, and joyously accepted? Joyously accepted.
Yeah. It's easier if we say means the same thing, right? Joyfully, rather than joyously, joyfully accepted. We are one and therefore give up nothing.
We are one and therefore give up nothing.
But we have indeed been given everything by God.
But we have indeed been given everything by pure formless awareness of perfect love. And from the top, with anger gone, I will indeed perceive that for my true self's vision and the gift of true perception, no sacrifice was asked, and only pain was lifted from a sick and tortured mind. Is this unwelcome? Is it to be feared, or is it to be hoped for, met with thanks and joyfully accepted? We are one, and therefore give up nothing, but we have indeed been given everything by pure formless awareness of perfect love. Well, it's just saying once our anger and fear have gone, I will indeed perceive that my true self's vision is our true perception, and there is no sacrifice asked of us. Pain is lifted from our sick and tortured minds. Would we unwelcome this? Would that be to fear? So it's just questioning our crazy minds.
Everything is there for us, so why would you fear this? It's perfection, it's bliss. So why do we have this resistance to it? Why do we fear it? It doesn't make any sense, except to the ego, of course. But then the ego is nonsense. Doesn't make any sense. To not be what you are. The idea that you can be something else than what you really are is crazy, ridiculous, nonsense. You are what you are, but that's as you were created, and that's as you remain. Okay. Let's go on then to number 7. Yet do we need forgiveness to perceive that this is so?
Yet I do need letting go to perceive that this is so.
Without its kindly light, we grope in darkness, using reason but to justify our rage and our attack.
Without its kindly awareness, I grope about in limited awareness, using reason only to justify my rage and my attacks.
Our understanding is so limited, and what we think we understand is but confusion born of error.
My understanding is so limited that what I think I understand is only confusion born of error.
We are lost in mists of shifting dreams and fearful thoughts. Our eyes shut tight against the light, our minds engaged in worshipping what's not there.
I am lost in mists of shifting dreams and fearful thoughts. With my spiritual vision and the pure formless awareness, it would show me blocked, and my mind valuing only what is not there. And from the top, yet I do need letting go to perceive that this is so. Without its kindly awareness, I grope about in negative awareness, using reason only to justify my rage and my attacks. My understanding is so limited that what I think I understand is only confusion born of error. I am lost in midst of shifting dreams and fearful thoughts. With my spiritual vision and the pure formless awareness, it would show me blocked, and my mind valuing only what is not there. Yeah. Well, it's just again saying we do need to let go to perceive, our true awareness. And we're continually groping onto this negative awareness, which of course we're valuing it and it's not even there. So we're missing out on our true kindly awareness. Instead, we're stuck in this confusion and our understanding is very limited and lost in this shifting of dreams and fearful thoughts, when all along we've got this spiritual vision and this awareness, this pure formless awareness.
In poverty, seemingly in poverty, even though we got there's this abundance going on. There's a did I ever tell you the parable of the beggar? Actually in Eckhart Tolle's book, The Power of Now.
I'm not
In
sure.
the beginning. Well, the story goes the beggar's sitting on a box, and he's been sitting there for years, just getting older, and nothing's really changing. And then one day this stranger who looks a bit different stops. And instead of just giving him money, he says, "So tell me what's in the box." And the beggar says, "There's nothing in the box." The stranger says, "Well, have you ever looked?" And the beggar's like, "No one's ever asked me that before." He says, "Well, of course I've looked," but he hasn't. And the stranger says, "Well, why don't you take a look? I'll help you." So beggar reluctantly gets off, and the help of the stranger lifts the box, and then there's a whole lot of gold coins in the box. And he's been sitting on the box for years without opening it. And of course, the parable is, well, there's a treasure within you. You're sitting on it. It's always been there, but you weren't aware of it. You cut yourself off from it because you believe it's not there. And now you're begging the world for, scraps of pleasure, of success, of money, of power, of relationships, when actually you're sitting on this golden treasure. which obviously symbolizes truth, spirit, life, light. You're sitting on that all the time, and you just have to you have to make the effort to change your normal default pattern and just take a look. Just the hero's journey. Okay, I've got to go outside of that limited I know mindset that says, yeah, well, no, there's no treasure there. Well, how do you know? If you've never checked, how would you know? And just because it wasn't there, even if you did check, because it wasn't there years ago, you couldn't find it. That doesn't mean it's gone forever. So it's quite a profound parable, just saying, just be willing to look inside, and that being willing to look inside is doing spiritual practice and work. So that's how you literally get off the box and you start opening the lid. If the lid's been closed a long time, it's going to take some time, take some getting used to. But what's inside is still there. So you will find it. It's there. You've just got to make the effort to find it.
Yeah, it's very good. It's a good analogy.
Okay, so born again Christ, but him who has forgiven everyone he sees or thinks of or imagines.
Who can be born again in my true self except him who has let go of everyone he sees or thinks of or imagines?
Who could be set free while he imprisons anyone?
Who could be set free while he imprisons anyone?
The jailer is not free, for he is bound together with his prisoner.
The jailer is not free, for he is bound together with his prisoner.
He must be sure that he does not escape, and so he spends his time in keeping watch on him.
He must be sure that he does not escape, and so he spends his time in keeping watch on him.
The bars that limit him become the world in which his jailer lives along with him.
The bars that put the prisoner in bondage become the world in which his jailer lives along with the prisoner.
He must be sure that he does not escape, and so he spends his time keeping watch on him.
And it is on the prisoner's freedom that the liberty of both depends. Sorry, we did do number 5, didn't we?
Yeah, where are we?
Number 6 was number 6, but no worries yet. Number 6.
It is on the prisoner's freedom that the liberty of both depends. Well, so what's he saying in that? Read it from the top.
Yeah. Who can be born again in my true self except him who has let go of everyone he sees or thinks of or imagines? Who could be set free while he imprisons anyone? The jailer is not free, for he is bound together with his prisoner. He must be sure that he does not escape, and so he spends his time in keeping watch on him. The bars that put the prisoner in bondage become the world in which his jailer lives along with the prisoner. And it is on the prisoner's freedom that the liberty of both depends. So it's just saying that if we are born again into the true self, we have to let go of everyone he sees or thinks or imagines, because if you imprison someone or anyone, you're imprisoning yourself. So if if you put the prisoner in bondage, it then becomes your world. So once you free the prisoner, then liberty is there for both. Freedom is there for both of you.
Yeah, prisoner's freedom, liberty of both. Depends. So we must free everyone else. We keep them in bondage, and we keep ourselves in bondage. And the analogy is the jailer. Jailer is in bondage with the prisoner. So if you criticize, condemn, judge, attack people as their apparent jailer, then you're just keeping yourself in that bondage.
Mm.
It's not a very clever thing to do at all.
No.
So you have to realize that this is actually what we're doing. Therefore, hold no one prisoner.
Therefore, I hold no one prisoner to my judgment.
Just read it, carry on reading. There's nothing to translate here. Just
Okay. I release instead. Who curses on that? Is that instead?
yeah, instead,
Yeah, instead of bind, for so I am set free. The way is simple. Every time I feel a stab of anger, I need to realize that I hold a sword of judgment above my own head, and it will fall or be averted as I choose to be condemned or free. So does each person who seemed to tempt me to be angry represent my liberator from the prison of death. And so I owe him thanks instead of condemnation. So just so anybody that we're judging, we're just holding the sword against our own head. We neither choose to condemn or be freed. So we can be tempted into this anger, but we need to let go, and then we are free. So we
it's
need
quite a
to
good
live. Yeah.
idea of the judgment above your own head. So you're judging someone else, you're actually doing it to yourself. You just don't realize it
Mm.
until it gets pointed out like this. So, well, actually, you're just trying to kill yourself. It's a death wish. So don't do it. Why would you condemn and judge and kill yourself when you could have love, peace, and joy instead? So does each person who seems to tempt me to be angry represent my liberation from the prison of death.
No matter what form it comes in. I mean, sometimes when you see somebody who's sick that you care about, you can feel a bit of judgment, but you've got to see them as not real. The body's not real.
Yeah, and judgment just makes it real, which is why
Mm.
the ego loves judgment. Because you judge that as real, and then you react to it mentally, emotionally, and you make it real in your mind. And that keeps the illusion going very well. This is why it's so hard to get out, because the ego's got us judging, condemning, complaining, accusing, blaming, complaining, fearing, attacking, and just judging all the time. This is
Mm-hmm.
seemingly external reality, and it's all false. So we're really just condemning ourselves and attacking ourselves and angry with ourselves.
Mm.
Doesn't make any sense. If you're attacking yourself and you're hurting yourself, then you should say, well, just stop doing it. It's kind of
Yeah,
simple, isn't it? Like,
it
yeah,
is.
you hit your
Mm.
head against a brick wall and you're hurting it and you're bleeding and you keep blaming the wall. And he's saying, you've got to stop this insanity. Stop doing it to yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And that's really what this course is saying. Just a wake up call to say, look, you can't blame the wall. It's you who are bashing your head against the wall.
Yeah.
So don't blame the wall, just change your mind and realize that you don't need to keep bashing your head against the wall because you don't somehow fit in. So does each person who tempts me to be angry represent my liberator from the prison of death. So I owe them thanks instead of condemnation. Yeah, so total reinterpretation. If they are pushing my buttons and I'm tempted to get angry, this is exactly what I need to bring my anger up and release it. All right. Number 10, last one. So I'll read this in the original, you read an alternative. So be merciful today.
I choose to be loving and kind today.
The Son of God deserves your mercy.
The extension of perfect love deserves my blessing.
It is he who asks that you accept the way to freedom now.
It asks that I accept the way to freedom now.
Deny him not. His Father's love for him belongs to you.
I do not deny it. Its source's love for it is mine.
Your function here on earth is only to forgive him, that you may accept him back as your identity.
My function here on earth is only to let go of all my judgments on it, so that I may accept it back as my true identity.
He is as God created him.
When I let go of my misperceptions today, is that right?
Number 7. I'm going to
Oh,
change that. We are
perfect love extends me.
as perfect love extends us. And so, and you are what he is.
And so I am what it is.
Let's change that to I am what my companion is. It's more accurate to what it's saying. So I am what my companion is. And forgive him now his sins, and you will see that you are one with him.
When I let go of my misperceptions of its sins today, I will perceive that I am one with it. And from the top, I choose to be loving and kind today. The extension of perfect love deserves my blessing. It asks that I accept the way to freedom now. I will not deny it. Its source's love for it is mine. My function here on earth is only to let go of all my judgments on it, so that I may accept it back as my true identity. We are as perfect love extends us, and so what my companion is. When I let go of my misperceptions of its sins today, I will perceive that I am one with it. So it's just saying to choose to be loving and kind today. The extension of perfect love does deserve our blessing. So it's asking us to accept the way to freedom right now. And I won't deny it. Just saying the source's love is mine and our extension. So it says basically to let go of all our judgments. So the only way to do that is to be really here and now, isn't it really? Because most of past and future are all judgments.
Yeah. Now is a clear, open, empty, spacious awareness. It's not conditioned, it's not programmed. It is only present. You can't have past or future in that awareness. As soon as you have past or future, you're no longer in the now, and you're away with the fairies. You're just thinking about things that don't even exist. If you can stay fully present and aware, wholly aware now, you'll receive whatever guidance you need. So the ego has a misperception that, well, if you do this, you're not going to be able to function in the world, not going to be able to cope with your life, you're not going to be able to plan, not going to be able to get stuff done in the world. It's not the case. You just have to do it differently, and instead of using the stressing, straining, and striving program of the ego to let go of all of the preconceived notions, the ideas that block the true awareness, and let that just come into your mind and shine through you. I'll perceive that I'm one with everyone. I let go of all my perceptions. Let go of my misperceptions of its sins today. I'll perceive that I'm one with it. Let go of my misperceptions of my companion sins today. I'll perceive that I am one with it. One with perfect love, in other words. Okay, so any other thoughts on that? Let's just sum it up with a personalized summary, a few paragraphs, key message.
Just paragraph, sharing it, yeah. Shall I go first?
Yeah, you can.
My completion is found in my source's pure formless awareness, and I am its sacred extension, forever in union with my pure formless awareness of perfect love. My true function in the world may seem unclear due to envy, hatred, and attack, but it will become clear to me as I let go of my negative thoughts and emotions and the falsity they stand for. So our completion is found in this, the source's pure formless awareness, and our true function in the world may seem unclear because of the envy and hatred and all the negativity, but then it'll become clear when we let go of all these negative thoughts and emotions and the falsity they stand for. So it's again just letting go.
Clarity will come. And it does if you keep practicing. Clarity comes into the confusion and you start to see, start to understand. Okay, so in this world, I cannot even conceive of being, a capital B, which is the same as the state of pure formless awareness. Therefore, my letting go, this pure formless state, through my letting go, this pure formless state extends itself into my awareness, leading to dreams that are close to waking, which I experience boundless joy. Okay, what's he saying in that?
Just while we're in this world, we can't conceive this being part of us, which is the same as the state of the pure formless awareness. So again, just this letting go. So it's, and then it then becomes, we get closer to being our true self, and we will experience limitless joy.
Okay,
Next one.
Letting go.
Letting go helps me look gently upon the unknown, dispelling my fears and making way for pure formless awareness, perfect love. It transforms how I perceive my body, leaving it as mere as a mere teaching aid in my perception. Without the body, my mind cannot err or feel anger, and so letting go of my body identification can restore my peace and guide me back to my eternal innocence.
Okay, thoughts on that paragraph?
Just the letting go, just make it quite clear, and letting go into this unknown. And this is, this dispelling the fears and making way for this, our true, pure formless awareness, perfect love. And it transforms the way we see our body, and seeing it merely as a teaching aid. And without the body, the
Very
mind.
useful concept, isn't it? To think body as a teaching aid. Really important to real, but it's useful. What we need to learn here. How many people think of their body as a teaching aid? Very few.
No.
Okay, so next one, I'll read it. The absence of anger is a consequence of my true self's vision. I recognize that there is no sacrifice or pain, but all is given by pure formless awareness of perfect love. My limited understanding and rage limit my perception, but my letting go will set me free. Thoughts on that?
Well, our absence of anger will be the consequences of the true self's vision. And there really is no sacrifice or pain, because it's all been given by our pure formless awareness, perfect love. So our limited understanding and rage limit by perception, by letting go, we will be set free.
Okay. Any other thoughts on that?
I was just saying, yeah. That's fine.
My letting go is the key to my rebirth. Read that one, Lane.
Oh, is it me? Sorry, I thought it was you. My letting go is the key to my rebirth as my true self and my ultimate freedom. But judging others keeps me a prisoner of my own mind, whereas letting go of my judgments releases them and sets me free. Therefore, each person who tempts me to get angry offers me a way out of my self-created prison. So it's just sort of saying the people that are our adversaries really are our saviors in reality.
Yeah. No. We understand why. It's in some sleight of hand. He's trying to trick us. It's true. They represent your own negative awareness, for which you have to let go of. They just symbolize that. They're the projection of that. And so when you let them go and you don't judge them, then the negative awareness goes. And if you hold on to it and you nurture that grievance, even if you recycle it and then go to someone else, start judging and attacking someone else, which is quite common. It's the same thing. You're just condemning yourself, crucifying yourself. And Yeshua's saying to us, just stop doing it. Just stop it. I've got to teach you, why you need to stop it. Okay, so therefore, last paragraph, therefore I'm grateful, loving, and kind to the extension of perfect love. I accept that the only way to experience my source's love and freedom is to fulfill my function of letting go. As I let go of my judgments of others, I accept them as part of my identity. Recognizing that we are one in pure formless awareness of perfect love. Amen. Okay, so thoughts on that? Last paragraph.
Well, just saying the only way is to accept the source's love and freedom, and to fulfill our function of letting go. So when we let go of others, I accept them as part of my identity, I'm just recognizing we're all one with this pure formless awareness of perfect love.
Mm. Yeah, it's a very simple message. It's repeated over and over again in the course, but he does that because we're so asleep and we forget it. So just remind us this is what's actually all of your, especially if it's difficult, hard encounter with someone. So what it offers a way out. The difficult people and experiences are your way out of the dream. So don't resist them. Accept them, learn from them. Okay. So you want to read the key message?
I contemplate my connection to pure formless awareness of perfect love and explore the importance of letting go as the means of reconnecting with it. This process helps me see beyond my limited awareness of the world and gives me a deeper, more experiential understanding of unity, freedom, and innocence. By letting go of my judgments of others, I will inevitably find and live through my true self. It's all about the letting go and reconnecting with our pure formless awareness of perfect love, letting go of our judgments of others, and inevitably find and live through our true self.
Mm. So simple. That's the way of awakening. That's the path to salvation. How you treat your brothers is how you treat yourself. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. I mean, this is not rocket science. It's not anything that hasn't been said in most of the major spiritual traditions. The golden rule. But I think this course gives a deeper understanding of why that's the case. It's not just to help them. You're actually helping yourself undo the illusion in your mind. Okay, so any other thoughts on that, Elaine? Shall
I
we
know it's yeah, it's good.
yeah, want to do meditation on this to close it?
Yep. So yeah, that's good.
Hmm. Okay. Just to let you know, tomorrow I probably won't be able to do a session
That's no problem.
because what no, I can do one, but it'd have to be a bit later. It's going to be about 7 o'clock probably, or 7:30
Which day is that on?
tomorrow.
Oh right, yeah. Yeah, that should be okay. Yeah.
Or would
Yeah,
you want to just defer it to Friday? I think you got 4 sessions this week, so you can do it tomorrow, or you could do Friday. Up to you. Okay.
I'm not quite sure at the moment. Perhaps
Hmm.
do Friday then. Yeah, do Friday.
Hmm. Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, I'll still offer the session if someone joins, but aim for Friday.
Yeah.
Friday. Yeah. Same
Oh,
time. Yeah.
okay.
All
Yeah.
right. Okay. So let's do
Yeah.
the med then, and yeah, and you can just drift off if you need to leave. You can
Okay.
leave or
Yeah.
first med. Yeah.
Okay. Doke.
So thanks,
Okay.
Elaine. I
Thank
will
you.
it's Friday.
See you Friday. Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you, Jonah. Thank you.
Namaste. All right. So this is. Oops. I'm going to do that. Okay. So this is a meditation on today's workbook lesson, 192. 192. So just sitting comfortably, your feet shoulder apart, your back straight. Clap your hands in your lap. Close your eyes. And start off by taking a nice deep breath in through the nose. Breathing in, noticing how the stomach rises and the chest rises and the subtle flow of air in through the nostrils, and clench your sphincter muscle to lock the energy in. Draw the energy up the spine to the crown of your head. Pausing at the top of the inhale. Another deep breath in. Scan your mind. Just notice any thoughts, emotions, related body sensations going on. Particularly anything that feels negative or limiting, contracted, constricting in any way. And move into it. Remind yourself of today's key idea of the lesson. I have a function. God would have me full. I have a function perfect. Loving awareness inspires me to fill. I have a function. This inspires me to fill. And exhale the truth of that. Have a sense of releasing. Blowing it all out with the breeze of your breath into the nothingness that it really is. It's going, gone. From the lower stomach into the spine. Expel the last remaining air out. And you rest. Perfect love. In your true function. Which is forgiveness or letting go. So if there's any grievance, any frustration, anger, attack thoughts, hatred, jealousy, rage, whatever you're experiencing. Again, breathe into it. Breathe in the light. You can imagine you're breathing in a golden white light. Every pore, every cell, every muscle of your body, every part of your mind, every fiber of your being. In the light of your true awareness. Just connect with the essence, this deeper presence or essence. And the exhale, release anything. Seems to contradict that. So any judgmental thoughts. So judging someone or something else makes that person real in your mind. A real figure capable of real effects. So instead, just let it go. Remind yourself that I just have this one function. God or perfect loving awareness inspires me to fill. So sinking into this function, perfect loving awareness, there's really nothing else to do, nowhere else to go. The only function is to be in this awareness right here and right now. So just sinking deeper and deeper to this beautiful state of perfect loving awareness. There's no need to do anything. Nothing to do, nowhere else to go, nothing else to say. Just breathe, relax, be still for a bit. And just sinking inwards into this light, your true awareness that you are, breathing it into every pore, every cell, every muscle of your body, every part of your mind, every fiber of your being. And rest in this light, loving awareness. So just observe let the breath take you deeper and deeper into the stillness, silence. Go beyond words. Yes, I just said go beyond words, go beyond this course, go beyond everything. Surrender with wholly empty. Surrender into this pure, perfect, loving awareness that you really are. There's nothing you really have to do. It's just waiting for you. It's always been there. It's not being willing to drop all your defenses to it and just go there. So do that now. There's nothing to stop you. There's really nothing else you have to do right now other than go to bed. So spend a few minutes preparation for that. Just any thoughts come up that seemingly block this perfect loving awareness, observe them, breathe into them. Just sinking inwards, going deeper and deeper with each breath into this beautiful, peaceful, calm, relaxed state, which is so just gently coming back. In this deep state of awareness. And awareness of your body and the breath, senses in the world. On the count of three, you're going to open your eyes. So one, just breathing in, noticing how the stomach rises and the chest rises and subtle flow there and through the nostrils. Pausing at the top of the inhale, just look around, scan your mind. Noticing any difficult thoughts, emotions, related body sensations. So you just breathe in, you scan your mind one more time. Remind yourself that I have a function. Perfect loving awareness inspires me to fill right now. That function is to let go, forgive. So scan your mind, noticing any of those kinds of negative thoughts, negate truth or perfect loving awareness that you really are. And then remind yourself that I have a function. Perfect loving awareness inspires me to fill. You're just going to exhale. Once more, just blowing any negative thoughts and emotion out. Just letting it go with the breeze of your breath into the nothingness that it really is. Going, gone. Flow stomach into the spine. Expel the last remaining air out. And just rest here. Stillness and calm and peace. You find God, you find your own true awareness. You would find it in the noisy clamoring of the world. Exhale, just blow everything out. Breeze of your breath into nothingness that really is. You can imagine any negative thoughts and emotions just leaving you like a dark cloud or a black smoke. It's going, gone. Stomach into the spine. Expel the last remaining air out. And just wait for a few moments. So just in this quiet, peaceful stillness between breaths, between words, just appreciate this perfect loving awareness that you are. Connect with it, sink into it. Notice that it underlies all other awareness, no matter which part of your body you're perceiving and what seems to be going on outside of you. On the count of two, notice the weight of your body pressing down into the chair and your feet touching the ground. Noticing what you're feeling, touching maybe the subtle taste in your mouth, smell in your nose. Notice what you're hearing in the surrounding environment. You breathe in, you should notice all these things. Notice all of your sense perceptions, what you're feeling with your hands touching. Maybe a subtle taste in your mouth, smell in your nose. Notice that. Notice what you're hearing. In this kind of calm, detached way, without judging, naming, labeling anything. Just find that she's doing that and find the ego. So just feel this pure formless awareness of perfect love in you now. Underlies all form. On the count of three, you're now going to open your eyes and just take a minute to look around. So you just look around, observing various objects in the room without any judgment, in this very calm, loving awareness, and notice that this awareness is always there. It doesn't vary depending on what you're looking at or what you're perceiving. Close your eyes and notice the awareness underlies all sound. So close your eyes briefly, you can look around, open your eyes, and notice that it's all the same awareness. This perfect loving awareness underlies all perceptions, all sense perceptions, and it cannot fail you. Anything in this world that you go for can and will fail you, by definition. That's why it's an illusion. That's why it doesn't really exist. So I hope this meditation has helped you to connect with this peace of God. It's been called a surpassable understanding. Stay connected to that using the lesson, and tomorrow's lesson we get there to just practice staying tuned in to the spirit. So it is said, so it is done. Amen. So brings us to the end of the meditation and tonight's session. All right, so thank you, Elaine.
Yeah.
For
Okay.
joining.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'll see you on Friday.
Yeah. See you on Friday. That's great. Namaste.
Yep,
Good
stay in
night.
flight. Namaste.
Namaste.
Bye for now.
Bye.
Okay, so that's a wrap for today. Thank you for watching or listening. If you watched the live stream recording, so a couple of things you can do to take another step towards your own awakening. You can sign up to the channel to receive notifications whenever I go live, which is 3 or 4 times a week, and given access to these kinds of sessions 3 or 4 times a week. The live sessions, also loads of archive material. So check it out on YouTube, subscribe by hitting the subscribe button, and I hope to catch you on the inside soon, because you can join these sessions once you've yeah, so if you'd like to actually join the sessions, go to lifeform.com, sign up there for some pre-information and my training materials sent every day, including the notification when you are running live sessions. You'll be notified of that, given the Zoom link to join. And then, yeah, so go to lifepool.com, sign up to Telegram there, and you'll receive a daily quote. Some teaching around that, just one example of that at the beginning of the session. And then that leads us nicely into contemplating. So, lifepool.com, join us in the Telegram group, or hit the subscribe button if you're not quite ready for that. Do something to awaken right now, and let's stay. Means the divine or true self in me honors that same divine true self in you. Wishing you much love, peace, and joy in that self. Bye for now.